kind of out of the way, um, you really can focus in on what a client's looking for, or what a client, your client, or your somebody you're hiring, or somebody you're sending, like you're sending work to, like a sync guy. You know
Right.
what they're looking for. You know exactly what this sync agent there is looking for. And so it's always, I always, my philosophy is never leave a door unopened, and no such thing as no gray areas. Okay, and
That
and that kind of once you're in there, you know how to focus, and you don't waste your time. By and your time is valuable.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And Howie, I had a
Yeah.
question here. Okay, from Bill Madison. What is your favorite method for miking acoustic guitar?
Me?
Yep, you.
I don't like. I'm usually more of the I don't do a lot of the recording.
You're not in that part of the process. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, but I know a lot about it. The favorite method is just buy one of those Slate digital mics, and you can get 10 different digital. You can get 10 different mic sound out of it, and just flip back and forth, see which one works. And I have friends who take those digital mics, man, and it's really mind blowing how great you can get any sound you want. You just kind of, like 10 different mic sounds from your favorite microphones. You can emulate that, and you really just trial and error. That's what I think.
That makes sense. And let me ask you, I wanted to get your thoughts in terms of like what kind of trends are there in terms of, if there are any trends that we can talk about in terms of how things are mastered now versus in the past, and things that people should look out for in terms of what they need to make sure that they've got right, no matter whoever they're bringing the music to, whether it's a sync agent or whether they're putting it on Spotify or another DSP.
Well, it depends on where, what you're looking. First of all, is it processed music? Is it played music? Is it, what's the genre? Okay, number one. Number two, the processed stuff usually has a sound of its own, like the composed stuff, which I see most of you guys are, which is great, because this is like having a whole band in your house, on your computer.
Right.
The delivery formats are so different now, whether it's just for streaming, is vinyl and streaming, CDs, sync stuff, whether it's for videos, whether it's for so on and so forth. But look, there's no shortcut for great sound. And what I like to think about all this is great sound will translate anywhere. Okay, a great mix, a really good mix, that translates on a little speaker and will translate to an iPod, an iPad, earbuds, nice speakers, and so on and so forth. Because I hate to say this, and I'm not really proud of it, but I'm really into those Apple Pro earpods. AirPods. I call them earbuds. I swore I would never buy a set, and then I have like 3 now. Because they're so damn easy. I go for a walk, man. I put it on. I ride my bike. I put it on. I put it on my phone. It's like, and this is the world we're in right now. So
yeah,
all these fancy. I have $80,000 worth of monitors in the studio. But if it doesn't sound good on that little earpod, we're not doing our gig.
Right.
And it's also what I like to think of is find some music that's really successful, that's done well, that's synced really well, and there's no law against copying it, not word for word, not sync, note for note, but find something that sounds great, and then a vibe like that. I mean, this Billie Eilish stuff that she put out with, I mean, it's not new music, but she's taken it and entwined it in so a way that it sounds like new music, So, that's basically what we're trying to do these days. We're trying to reinvent something we've been doing for a long time into something really highly creative. And while you listen to it, you go, wow, I like that. So I,
That's good.
impact is important.
So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you a couple other questions, Howie, and then I'll open it up to people.
Sure.
I'll unmute everybody. But let's see. The first thing is you and I have talked about these things. What about online mastering services, online mixing services? How do you feel about the state of them right now? We talked a little bit about it earlier, and we felt like it wasn't really the best tool. But what do you think?
You know what? Depends on what your budget is and what the results you've gotten. You know, I totally, you know, it's very important, the budgets, and a lot of well-known engineers will really cut their rates pretty heavily these days, So, if you don't ask, you don't get, like I say,
Right.
and I've been consulting for a bunch of these places, for Lander especially. I've been doing a lot of consulting work for them, and their model is going to be great. They're coming up with something new in about a year that's going to really, people go, well, you're going to worry about they're going to take my work away. I don't worry about stuff like that. My concern is, is getting the best product for the least amount of money for people. People always hire me no matter what. But
Right.
there's like, that's only like 2-3% of music out there. There's 80-90% of people out there that really want super high quality stuff and really, their budget's low.
Yeah.
Or not at all, or they realize what mastering, will actually, do to a project. Okay. And it's like anything else, whatever works, use. If it works, use it.
I mean, my feeling is, Howie, if I was putting out a single, an album, whatever, I would ask you to do it, because you are very good at what you do. But if somebody wanted to engage with you, somebody here who would want to possibly have you master one of their tracks, how would they get in touch with you? And if you want to talk about how much it would cost, you can do that, or that's something that maybe it
Well,
depends
I
on
mean,
the project or
like
whatever.
anything else, I get you. All rates are negotiable.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere we go. We're in a day and age. I mean, there's indie rates, there's major label rates, and there's like begging rates.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but look, the good news is I'm working all the time, and I have a personally trained assistant who actually, some days actually, I go, wow, he does great work. So
Yeah,
a
he's
lot of
awesome.
times we flip flop together, or we do the stuff together. I start and he finishes it. So it's always good to have somebody who you work with that you can trust, to filter things down to. So the bottom line is, it doesn't have to cost a lot, but the end result is worth the price. Okay, whatever it is. If your music, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, well, it just, I put on another record against that and it just doesn't feel good, and I did so much great recording, and you have to put, this is our bread and butter here. We don't want a song that we spent, we poured our hearts out. We